Hello again, this is Troy's Justice, and we're still on our way out, about 10,500 light years to go. And got enough tritium to get to the original destination with a few jumps left over, so we'll head there and then we'll find an earthquake. Probably won't get there tonight. 10K is a bit further than I can go in a single night. Good evening.
Good evening.
Shall we make a few thousand light years?
Let's go waltzing across Texas. I read where they won't have the tritium hotspots or anything fixed until Tuesday, so.
No, we'll be there by Tuesday.
Huh?
We'll be at the original target by Tuesday.
That's what I figured. That I read in their forum. That they said it'd be Tuesday before they were fixed, and I was like, phew. I'm sure glad we didn't have to sit here and twiddle our thumbs.
Yeah, glad we're not a couple of the other carriers, which are just plain old stuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. They don't even have enough to jump.
Yeah, they cut it too fine.
And I've seen where some of them are just, well, okay, we're going to just decommission.
Ow!
Which I don't know. It probably wouldn't hurt Elite because, I mean, it's just credit, so it's not like it was actual, money or anything.
No, but it's a serious knock to the new game mechanics. If people are just, it's borderline enough that people aren't even willing to wait a couple of days.
Well, I think it's because this is the third patch since they brought it online live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are just, every time they fix something, they break a lot more.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder what space legs is going to be like. You're going to walk forward and your body's going to be facing the other way and you're walking backwards, actually?
Ugh, I'm not even sure I want to know. Oh, excuse me.
You eating ice cream?
Yep. I was getting ready to go on, and my daughter asked to have some ice cream, so my wife was nice enough to get some for both of us.
Gotta give her kudos.
She takes very good care of us, the cats, the wildlife that comes to the bird feeders, which includes not just birds, but red squirrels, gray squirrels, chipmunks, rabbits, skunks, possum, and groundhogs.
She's just a regular Dr. Doolittle.
She will take care of anything that shows up. Except the black cat down the street, which drives our cats crazy and deliberately comes and taunts our cats. She does not like that particular cat.
Now, what would be nice, which I doubt if we could find it, but once we get out here, what would be nice is to find an Earth-like and a ring planet that's icy with tritium. Now, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. If we could find both, we could jump to one, fill up, and then take one jump to the other.
Yep. Well, I was thinking in the same system, which would probably be impossible, but I don't know. I know, wishing one hand, spitting the other. Which one gets the fullest?
Yeah. You're full of colorful phrases tonight.
Huh?
I said you're full of colorful phrases tonight.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Wonder where all the little Sputnik commanders are, A4, Super.
No idea.
A.
I worry about A4. One of the things I could do here, let's see, if I go to social, May has not been on for 3 days. Yellow has not been on for 2 days. A4 has not been on for 15 days.
And Dan? Where's he at? Oh, what's his name? Nathan, but it starts with, Darla Soul or something like it. Yeah.
Darian DeSode, 3 days ago.
Yeah, Darian just.
Huh, Kaboobel gave up. He hasn't been on in 13 months.
I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Interesting. Some of the people I see that I've been friends with back from the first Distant Worlds trip were on in the past couple of days, which is cool.
Wonder what they're doing.
No idea. No idea.
Attention, carrier jump sequence is underway. Lockdown begins in 5 minutes. Passengers wishing to remain in the system must leave the carrier within the next 3 minutes.
That's a nice warning to have. If you want to stay here, get out! Well, I have a feeling Yellow may have just done that.
Why?
Just because he hasn't been on in a few days, and you said he was going the other direction a little bit. Although, you know, he could still be on here. 150 light years really isn't that far away, so he might have got back and settled on the ship before he logged off.
Hopefully.
I was going to work on my monitor shelf today, but it was too hot to go out to the shop. 96 degrees in the shade. The wood may be sitting out there till fall before I get back to it. Or even winter. I've got a nice heating unit out there, but I don't have any AC out there.
It was about 96, and it felt like heat index was up like 113. I went out to the garden and picked some vegetables. I probably wasn't even out there 20 minutes. When I came back, it was like I jumped in the shower and jumped out. Wow, it's hot.
Moo.
Attention, carrier is now under pre-flight shutdown. All services have been suspended.
Although that moo may be what's triggering the Western thoughts. Oh, home on the range.
Get along, little doggy, get along.
Yep. I didn't punch no doggy. I was out on a trip with my family in Wyoming. My dad and I were fishing Snake River. Fly fishing, specifically. And I kind of had to stop because I didn't want to catch a cow. Oh, no. You know, he's going across cow fields to fish the river.
Oh, yeah.
And the rancher was nice enough. All along the river, every time there was a fence, he put a ladder over the fence. So it made it really easy to go, you know, up and over and keep going up and down the river as you needed to fish. I'm sitting there fishing in one field, and I hear a step behind me as I'm about to, to start casting. You know, with a fly rod, you cast as far behind you as you cast in front of you. So I turn around, and the front row of cattle was about 20. I have no idea how many rows deep they were, and they're just sitting there looking at me.
Trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, basically, but I couldn't cast because I would have caught one.
You're like, what's that idiot up to?
So I moved upriver, went across another fence, and sure enough, 20 minutes later, there's another herd of them behind me. I know it's a second herd because the other herd's standing at the fence.
3, 2, 1.
It's like, okay, I'm glad I'm entertainment for you guys, but I need to cast.
Can't cast, can't catch fish. Come on.
Oh, eventually I started doing. There's a different type of casting called roll casting, and I've eventually, despite the fact that I'm in the middle of like cow pasture, so I've got a huge amount of room for back cast if it wasn't for the cows. So I started doing roll casting, which is a interesting, strange form of casting that you usually use in areas where you have no back cast. available. So basically, you got to pick the line up and you snap your rod over, and it makes a big loop. It casts and moves the fly back upriver again. But it was just like,
hadn't seen you guys in a long time, and thought I'd check and see what you were doing.
crazy ass cows. All right. Well, I wonder what 3,000 means. Guess we get to find out. Might as well. We gotta wait for the cooldown anyway.
Yeah, I got a codec entry anyway, so.
Retract landing gear.
Cloud release confirmed. Restrict speed until a carrier
One of these
is
days
out
it's gonna be
of
dark and I'm gonna come out of there and hit that doggone tires.
Oh, I see you went off in a different direction.
Yeah. Well, it seems like if I go across the deck, it tells me that I'm loitering and it restricts me landing.
Haha.
Starport infraction. 2.
2?
2.
Oh. Hmm. I see. System map. 2 stars, and we got them. Okay.
Yep, puppies are ours. Back to the carrier.
Back we go.
I think we need to change your carrier's name to the Ponderosa since we're into the Western so much.
Disengage.
Exiting hyperspace.
We hope to find you.
communications established. We are ready to receive docking requests.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Access granted. Proceed to your allocated pad, Commander.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay.
Now, what is it? Achoo!
Achoo! We are now going into the nasal cavity of the universe. I'd hate to see what a star sneeze looks like.
Although, last night, from Oklahoma, anyways, you could see the comet.
Yeah, welcome to... Unfortunately, I'm in light pollution central here in New England. I haven't even tried. It's also been a bit, rainy the past few days.
It looked like just a bright ball up there. You could see a little bit of a tailbite, not much. I mean, if you didn't... they hadn't gave me, the direction in order to look.
You wouldn't know, yeah.
Back in the early 80s. Yeah, back in the early 80s, though, I got to see Halley's Comet. Now, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, even though it came on the wrong side of the star.
Tail behind it.
Yeah.
So I actually got to see it.
I got to see that. I mean, my dad grabbed me, dragged me out to it.
All I know is I seen it streaking across the...
Oh, Halley's was a lot smaller this time around. Than it was the time before. The last time, which was in let's see, 88 was this time, so the last time would have been 1916, and my grandfather saw it then, and he said, the tail of it practically washed across the earth. It would just like covered the entire sky. It was amazing.
Right.
But this last one, it came across the wrong side. We were on the wrong side, opposite side of the earth, opposite side of the sun from it. So it really didn't look that big. And Halley's is absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, but what I've seen is just a little, the light dot.
Mm-hmm.
But the tail, it was a lot better tail than what, I forget the name of this comet's name.
Mm-hmm.
Slim Pickens or something.
Yeah. There was another one that came through in the 90s on the, much smaller than Halley's. But it was a lot closer to Earth than Halley's was this past time. And, I mean, the tail maybe covered, I don't know, just under a fifth of the sky. It was quite beautiful. I had a nice telescope to look at it. Didn't even need it. It was just plainly visible sitting in the sky. It was beautiful. Hopefully the next time Halley's comes around.
Neowise?
That sounds familiar.
That's the name of the comet that...
That's here now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't...
2036?
Yeah, this one's a long pole comet, so...
Neowise is the one...
So...
2061 or 2062 is the next time Halley's supposed to be.
2062? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 72 years in between.
Yeah, I don't intend to be around. Either that or I'll have a front row seat to it, you know.
Well, I mean, that's only... 2060 sounds wrong. It does. No, actually, that's about right. 2060. Yeah. About 40 years from now. If I'm still around, I'm going to be an ancient gaffer.
I'll be over 100. I won't be looking at the sky, I don't think.
Attention. This carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any outstanding business in the system prior to departure.
I'll be in my 90s.
Sonny, which way did you say that comet was going to be coming in from?
Yeah. I'll be around 94 years old when it gets back, if I'm still kicking.
Yeah. Well, there's no even telling if we're even going to be around then.
Yeah, I know.
According to them, the Earth's going to end in 12 years.
Oh, that's not happening.
I'm like, God, I wish I had a dime for every time I heard that. We have a hole in the ozone layer. We're all going to die from radiation. 5 or 6 years later, that hole miraculously healed itself.
Well, I wouldn't say miraculously healed itself. We cut down our emissions of ozone by like 63%. And the planet had a chance to recover. Not ozone, but there's a particular chemical that eliminates ozone, and we cut down our use of it by 83%. Used to be used in every aerosol can.
You mean it wasn't the Freon?
Freon may have, well, not that much Freon used to get, released. I mean, that's, Freon's one of the ones that would, but there were other ones that there was a, one of the chemicals that they used to basically as the base for the aerosol before they changed back over to nitrogen.
I blamed it on them sending so many rockets that was blowing holes in it. It sounded plausible. You're burning a hole in it when you're going through there with a rocket, man.
No, you're not dumping it. The thing is, ozone is 3 oxygens, so you're not. You have to start knocking oxygens off, and by the time the fire, comes out of the back of the rocket, everything's already oxygenated, so it's not going to react with it.
Oh, I know, but it's just like everything else. It's like, well, it can't be good for it, You guys got a hole in it already, and you're blowing things through it.
Well, you could argue that, yeah. You're certainly going to cause currents in it. But of more interest was the chemicals that we were using that dumps a bunch of carbon up there and basically turns the ozone to water.
Yeah.
And because of the spin of the planet, what ends up happening is the ozone tends to collect towards the equator. So that's why you get the holes at the poles.
Yeah. Oh, holes at the poles, huh?
Holes at the poles, yeah.
Sorry, it's just...
And I love how they simplify, how the Earth looks by making it a globe, whereas the middle is a lot more bulged out than that.
Oh, I know it. And if you talk to some people, it's flat.
Yeah. I don't even know how that can persist, but whatever.
Well, I just told them if it's flat, what keeps the water from just running off? Must have sideboards or something. I used to work with a guy, and he was emphatic. The Earth was flat. It was flat. It was just flat. When you asked him why, he said it just is. And I said, "You sure it's not a petri dish?" And we just think it's an Earth. He kind of looked at me. Well, it makes
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that we're not just somebody's laboratory experiment?
I like how one group calculated that there's an 80% chance that we're a computer simulation.
Tron. We're inside the game.
It's the Matrix.
Yeah. Take the blue pill or the red pill.
Yep.
It's like I had somebody ask me, "Do you really think there's aliens, some other species or somebody out there, and I just like, well, I'd be pretty arrogant and self-centered if I thought as big as the galaxy was, God only decided to put us here and nothing else. I said, I'm for sure there's probably something out there that's alive. What it is, I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, I'll do them a favor and I won't bother them if they don't bother me.
And that may be a large part of why we haven't found what's out there. They're busily being privately themselves.
Attention, carrier is now under pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
Down we go.
Down, down we go. To Goblin Town we go.
But I do wonder this. I don't know if you've heard about it or not. Remember the astronaut who has a twin? And he went and spent a year? And when he come back, it changed his DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And he no longer is identical. He was identical twins with this dude.
And they're no longer identical, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what happened up there?
Radiation. Most likely.
Well, it must not be too bad because, the astronauts that went up there before everybody, they lived to be a ripe old age.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be something to do with gravity, that some genes turned on, some genes turned off, and who knows, when he comes back, they may revert after 6 months or a year.
That's true.
Maintenance crews have signed off. All scheduled work has been placed on hold until the jump is complete. All crew, prepare for carrier jump.
I thought that was pretty interesting, though. DNA changed. He's no longer identical twins. You know, I told you the other day there wasn't no place I would rather go than stay right here in the United States. I thought about that, and there is one place I'd like to go, and it's to Antarctica.
Attention all personnel. Frameship drive has been engaged.
Definitely an interesting place.
It is, and it's also mysterious too, you know.
Attention. Counting down.
Certain people are allowed, certain people aren't.
3, 2, 1.
Which is why there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about what's down there.
Yeah, that could be.
Prevent people from going somewhere, and they're going to think up what's there. They'll make up whatever they want.
Yeah.
You gotta love those idiots who are, saying the COVID is a fake.
I'm not saying it's fake, but I'm just saying they're trying to blow a lot of shit out of proportion. We only got 2 here. You gonna go up?
Yeah,
Okay.
might as well.
And I also think that they're padding the numbers because I know for a fact there was 5 around here so far that died in car accidents, and they labeled them as COVID-19 because they supposedly tested positive. But they actually died in a car crash.
Well, there's probably some of that going along. There's also some going the other direction. Just gotta hope the numbers of false reports in each direction are somewhere near the same.
System scan complete.
Well, according to what they gathered down there in Florida, they're like 90% wrong.
Okay, 2 stars. We get them both.
Woohoo!
Florida's got a number of problems.
And I love where they say, or our ICU beds we're at 90% capacity. But if you stop and go research that hospital, they only have 30 ICU beds.
Yep.
So 90%
Disengage.
doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't.
Exiting hyperspace.
But they don't tell you that.
Oh no! Remember, numbers don't lie, statistics do. As soon as you take a number and turn it into a statistic, you can spin it any way you want.
Yeah.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Please follow standard docking protocols, Commander.
It's like the whole gun debate. None of the numbers are... You have to go back to the base numbers. And depending on how you want to spin them, what you want to compare them to, you can come up with all sorts of percentages that tell all sorts of stories. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Well, as far as guns, I own some. I'm 62 years old and I never misused my gun. So
Yep.
I don't think anybody has a right to tell me that I can't own a gun.
Yep.
We've got you safe and sound. Commence shutdown. Welcome to Chruia, Commander.
But I do know there is a lot of double stairs out there. I mean, it's just, yeah, unreal.
Yep.
I wouldn't move nowhere else because, as far as I know, that we're the freest country there is around.
Yep. Although what freedoms we have are less than we used to, and will continue to become less as time goes on. Which is unfortunate. But a natural consequence.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I throw a fit about making it mandated. Huh? The natural consequence?
It's, you know, people in power like to keep their power. The easiest way to keep power is to remove as many ways as possible for other people to gain power. It's simple.
Yeah. Well, that's just kind of like making mask mandatory. If they'd have asked me, say, hey, please wear a mask for the next few weeks, I would have said, okay.
Yeah.
But them saying, you're going to wear a mask, and if you don't, we're going to fine you $100, it's like, well, okay, I'll tell you where you can take that mask and shove it.
Yep. And, but there's far too many people out there that if you ask them nicely, they wouldn't. And the only way you can get them to is by mandating. So, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't for that sort of thing.
Well, if everybody's wearing a mask but them, and they get infected, they'll learn, won't they?
Yeah, problem is that's not what the mask does.
It's their choice.
No. Well, you have to understand. Your mask protects other people from you. It does not protect you from them. That's the thing they're not telling you about masks. Masks do not prevent incoming. They prevent someone who doesn't know they're sick from infecting other people. It blocks 95% of outgoing germs and only 5% of incoming. So the reason you want other people to wear masks is to protect you from them. Since you're contagious within 6 hours but don't show symptoms for at least a week.
At maximum capacity.
So you've got at least 6.5 days where where the person is spreading the disease and doesn't know they have it. That's why they want to. That's why it ended up going the mandate route. That's why they want everybody. Oh, I'm on lag time. Okay, now that I'm out of lag time, that's why they want everyone to, they went the mandate route. I don't know how much you lost to what I was saying in lag time. Oh, damn it, I'm in lag time again. Oh, I'm back out of lag time again.
Yeah,
Cool.
if they see that they can do it, and everybody will agree with it. Yeah,
The problem is people are...
I understand it.
You know, far too many people won't do something to help another person. If it doesn't directly help them, they won't do it. So saying by wearing a mask, you protect everyone around you. So like, I don't care about the people around me. I'm not going to wear a mask. It's uncomfortable. Well, so they lie to get people to wear masks and mandate it. Wear a mask to protect yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Well, it gives you a little bit of protection, not worth wearing it. But what it really does is if you happen to catch it and you don't know you've got it yet, it protects everybody else from you, which greatly reduces the spread of the disease.
Yeah.
But
the government doesn't have to make a mandate. All they got to do is tell the stores, could you kind of do us a favor and make it mandatory to wear a mask in here?
they won't.
I'm sure a lot of them would do it.
Some would, some wouldn't. You wouldn't get enough compliance.
And all the snitches, oh my God, it just makes me want to reach out there and slap them.
And then you get the people who only put the mask over their mouth. Yeah. Well, they don't want to put it over their nose because it makes their nose uncomfortable.
Not their nose.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got your eyes, because you can get it through your eyes.
Yep. You have 3 sets of... Actually, you have...
put a full-face gas mask on.
Actually, yes. And one of those full-face gas masks with the wonderful, micro-filter air filtration systems. Those actually work very well. Of course, people going around...
I'm just saying.
Yeah. You want to protect yourself, wear one of those. Seriously.
Yeah.
But the only thing the government's worried is trying to get the most effective or most cost-effective way of reducing the spread. I mean, the government doesn't care about individuals. They don't. The government cares about volume.
Yeah, but if they did care about the volume, then they would have thrown a fit with all the protests going on and tell them not to be gathering in large groups.
That never works. That's why they didn't say anything about it or do much about it.
Right. But if I wanted to go to church, I can't go. But if I wanted to go out and protest, I can.
Yes, because going to church, it's willing compliance. Okay? The protesters won't comply no matter what you do. So it's wasted effort, wasted money.
Well, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't take it serious. If they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. And, death rate's going to be higher because of it. Simple consequence. The amount I understand about it is more than a lot of people, mostly because I married a microbiologist.
Well, yeah, that's true. But it doesn't take a lot of common sense to realize that if you put a mask on and you can breathe, things can get to you.
Right. And like I said, the mask is not intended to stop stuff from getting to you. It's to stop stuff from getting from you. And it does a great job of that. You know, if you cough, you know, a cough goes out 15 feet unless you block it with something. Normal breathing goes out 4 or 5, sometimes 6 feet, unless you block it with something. The whole point of the mask is to be the block.
Attention, carrier jump sequence is underway.
Yeah.
Lockdown begins in 5 minutes.
So basically, your germs stay with you. That's the point of it. And by doing that, you don't stop the spread, but you greatly reduce the spread. Because we don't want to stop the spread. We just want the spread to happen in a manageable... Yes, we want a manageable rate so that we don't overflow our medical services. That's the point, is you want to keep it within what the medical services can handle, which will then gradually give us what they call herd immunity. But to get herd immunity, a lot of people have to get it. Many more people will survive if we can stay under the capacity of the hospitals. So we allow it to progress, but keep it, at a rate that the hospitals can manage.
Right.
That's the strategy.
Well, that's what I just stay at home. I don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Order my stuff online, have it delivered, and say, screw the world, die. Makes more room for me. That last part was just a bad joke.
I'm just glad I have a job where I can work from home. And I don't have to go out there.
My son's a diesel mechanic. He hasn't missed a day since the scrap started.
Right, he interfaces with machines all day. Yep.
Well, he has to crawl around in people's trucks, so, it's probably not the most sanitized area in the world. And this stuff lives on surfaces, so...
For quite some time, yeah. A lot longer than they originally suspected.
And that's another thing. Somebody who's, asystematic, touches the surface with their hands and they don't have gloves on.
Yeah,
it's like rocks right behind them and gets it. Yeah, the mask only helps to a certain extent. If somebody's infected around you, you're probably going to get it. If you touch anything they do.
Well, if you touch anything they do and then touch your face. So the point is, anytime you touch stuff, you disinfect your hands, whether by one of those alcohol disinfectants if you're not near a sink, or you wash your hands. So I've been doing a lot more washing of my hands.
That's another thing. When do we have to be told to wash our hands again? That should have been bred in us a long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like, come on, guys.
Well,
Oh.
But prior to this, I'd wash my hands when I went to eat. I'd wash my hands when I know I got them dirty with something. But now I'm always washing my hands. Cleaning surfaces, making sure You know, we basically made sure that it really hasn't gotten into the house. And so every time we come into the house, we wash our hands and wipe down the doorknobs with disinfectant. Keep it out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way the house is safe.
Right. It just sometimes I have to laugh at some of the stuff they come up with, though. I'm just sorry.
Ugh.
It's like we should. Yeah, this should already been bred into us to do this stuff.
Yeah, but people aren't diligent enough about it.
Attention, carrier is now under pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
My only concern is that the next time we have just a regular old flu, they'll try to do the same damn thing.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason they're doing this is they identified it as novel. Novel is the key word for this thing. Because novel means our bodies have never seen it before, so we have zero defense. If this was like coronavirus of a type that our bodies have seen before, this would be a non-issue. Few people would get sick, maybe seriously, maybe not. But so what? Keep going. The fact that this is a brand new thing that humans have not been exposed to before, at least according to the current science, we've got to work to get to the point where we have sufficient herd immunity, and once we do, everybody goes back to work.
Which then leads me to believe that this was a manufactured virus, since nobody's used to it, nobody's ever has an immune system to it.
Yeah. They're pretty sure it's not, though. But it's never been present in the kind of numbers that we're seeing.
Maintenance crews have signed off. All scheduled work has been placed on hold until the jump is complete. All crew, prepare for carrier jump.
The most likely scenario,
This carrier is about to engage the frame shift drive.
and I'll continue after the
Safe distance.
thing stops speaking at me. The most likely scenario is that that lab in China was looking at the disease. Okay? They weren't breeding it, they weren't messing with it, they were looking at it to see what it did. And some idiot over there sold some of the infected animals to the local market, and it got away. This is not the first time that's happened over there. Luckily, the other stuff that they've sold the animals to really wasn't that bad.
Attention, counting down.
What was it? The swine flu and the SARS and yeah.
1.
Yep. Well, that SARS, that previous SARS was another coronavirus. However, it wasn't novel. It's one that had been around a while. People had gotten it. It's just because, they didn't catch on to it quick enough. It had a bit of a spread. They dealt with it. It didn't get very far. It didn't infect too many people. Fine. Done. They should have learned from that, and the second time shouldn't have happened. Sadly, it happened the second time with something that very few people have had any exposure to.
Right.
I may have to spend some time playing Plague Inc. and streaming that, because a lot of countries have banned it. It's a game about pathogen spreading, where you are the one who's representing the forces of the universe that control the pathogen.
Oh.
It's a hell of a lot of fun. So far, my shortest time to wiping out the Earth is 256 days.
Well, I'm leaving the carrier.
So am I.
Okay.
Except I'm a couple kilometers behind you.
Well, don't run over.
Retract landing gear.
Release confirmed.
Landing gear
The
retracted.
carrier is far behind you.
I won't catch you before you jump out.
Oh.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
What'd you say, 10?
Again.
Oh, bunch of ice balls. Okay.
System scan complete.
System map. Bunch of ice balls. Yep. And we get all the ice balls. But you can definitely you know, one of the things it notes on the you know, part of the difficulty levels, disengage,
Leaving hyperspace.
is how much people wash their hands.
Yeah.
07 Commander, welcome to our carrier.
And to go from non-hand washing even to limited hand washing greatly raises the difficulty of viral spread of pathogens of all types. It's amazing just how much it does slow it down. Open hailing frequencies. Oops.
Requesting docking permission.
Except you didn't do it.
Access granted. Proceed to your allocated path, Commander.
And I just figured out why it's been failing recently to do that. Because instead of the carrier being the top, you are. So it tried to it tried to ask you to request docking on you. Hello? Hello, game?
I don't think that'll work.
No, I don't think that'll work. Deploy landing gear.
What?
Landing gear deployed.
I don't think my ship can dock on yours.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't work. No, but if you could do that, then you know, we'd be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Enjoy your stay with us.
I'll be right back.
Okie dokie.
I'm back. My husband brought me a hamburger from Brahms.
From where?
Brahms?
Don't have a Brahms up here. Don't know what they are.
It's Brahms ice cream.
Oh, okay.
They also serve hamburgers and breakfast and stuff like that here.
We don't have any Brahms places here. But at least I recognize it as an ice cream brand.
Yeah. You can buy their milk. Let's see, cottage cheese, sour cream.
The only thing I've seen up here is their ice cream. And I haven't seen that up here in years. That's BRAHMS, right? Or do I know a different Brahms?
BRAUMS.
UM. Okay, I don't know them. Okay.
They're kind of like a Burger King.
Ah, okay.
But they have some good ice cream. It comes from their dairies. You know, the milk.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's because the star's right above us. Getting the full glare. Of course, that makes yours a lot more brown. Want more brown to the gold.
Yep.
Makes the green on the carrier pretty nice, though. Pops it nice.
It does. It does. Yep.
I think I'm going to have to get a new graphics card at some point. One that can handle not just the game and the live stream, but handle the webcam as well.
Isn't that annoying? You spend that money and you think you're doing good, and then it's something isn't strong enough or powerful enough to handle it, and you're right where you was.
Yeah, and I spent some good money for that background software too, the one that puts the background on the webcam. That was not cheap. Cost as much as a video card. A low-end one, anyway. Well, mid-range. So I may have to buy myself a new video card whenever I can come up with some money. Either that or get an actual webcam and see if it's got a lower CPU load than the iPhone.
Do you think the iPhone's pulling too much?
I don't know, because I don't know what's going on in behind. You know, I don't know how much GPU it's actually using. But Elite Dangerous uses about a quarter of my GPU. OBS Studio sucks up most of the rest. So it would be nice to have more GPU so I can actually, you know, and that may be the problem. I may just be over capacity on the GPU. But then, you know, then the iPhone camera feed uses GPU and the background feed uses GPU. So, so I may have to get a better graphics card. I may actually have to. I don't know if they make graphics cards that fit the slot on my computer anymore. I'll have to research that. That may mean I need to replace all the internals of my
Always
computer.
something to make you buy something else.
Yeah. Well, the specs are only, you know, I don't buy top of the line, so a lot of times I'll end up buying stuff that's, you know, 3/4 of the way through its life, because that's at the price point where I can afford it. The top of the line stuff, there's always premium pricing on it, but I'm not going to drop, you know, $1,000 on a video card. Especially when usually when I do that, I have to do it 3 times. Once for me, once for my wife, and once for my daughter. Although not so much for my wife anymore, because the system she's got will probably hold her for the next 15 years. Because she doesn't play games that are highly graphically intensive. Whereas my daughter and I both do. So we need better. We need more capable GPUs than she does. But I got all the same the last time to make it easy to support, because all 3 PCs were exactly the same, other than case color, and my daughter had an LED light strip she put in hers. But since then, my daughter's PC motherboard actually had some mounting and stuff like that, had some sort of defect, and the motherboard ended up shorting to the case and frying. So so we had to replace her motherboard and CPU, and she's had a couple of hard drive failures. So her machine is now different from any of the other machines we've got. My wife's got a 1K monitor, my daughter's got a 2K monitor. I've got an odd monitor and a 2K. The 2K is attached to this PC. The odd-shaped one, or old style monitor. Still a high-resolution monitor, but it's not the same. It's not the wide format that today's monitors are.
Yeah.
I was thinking of starting up a Patreon to put towards new computer gear for the channel.
Well, I guess some of them make quite a bit of money.
Some of them do make a lot of money, and some of them make enough so that they can at least, pay for the hardware for the channel for it, rather than having to pay out of pocket for high-end hardware. Like Down to Earth Astronomy, every dime that you put on his Patreon goes towards the channel. Mostly because he's got a good job. He doesn't have to support himself with the channel. So he just takes whatever comes in through the Patreon and uses it to upgrade either his recording gear, or most recently his joystick. It would be nice to have cash on hand in case this joystick fails, to be able to go buy another one. Be nice to upgrade some of the internals of the computer to make the stream smoother and better, etc., etc. It's all nice to haves. Look at the itty bitty baby landing pad. Isn't it cute? Oh, the cows have arrived.
Attention, carrier is now under pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended. is about to engage the frameshift drive. Please move to a safe distance. Navigation Byeia fueling computed. Offloading telemetry.
Attention all personnel, frameshift drive has been engaged.
Attention. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is our 99th jump, right?
98 I've got listed. Although, who knows, I may have missed one in there somewhere. And don't forget, we also took a jump backwards.
Yeah. I probably didn't count that.
Well, that would have us at 96, so... But like I said, it's possible I missed one or more.
Or I could have added, I don't know. Well, it looks like we got 3 something or others.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to go out and see what they are. Track landing here.
Ship released. Departure
Landing gear
confirmed.
retracted.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. System scan complete.
I see. System scan complete. Okay. System map. Maybe a couple of protostars here. Well, we got everything. Class T dwarfs and Class L dwarfs. Two barely stars. Okay. Disengage.
Exiting hyperspace.
request docking permission before approaching a landing pad.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Permission granted. A landing pad has been assigned to you.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, of all the times to lag.
Whoa!
Of all the
Through
time.
the deck.
Yeah. Of all the times to get lag.
I was watching you on the carrier view,
Yeah.
and the nose of your cutter went plumb through the deck.
Commence
Yep.
shutdown. Welcome, Commander.
Doesn't surprise me. They've completely lagged out on me.
I was like, oh, don't crash.
As soon as it lagged, I put the throttle to 0.
Good thinking.
Well, it lagged with me less than 100 meters off the deck.
Yeah, good thinking. Get below 100 anyways.
Okie dokie.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
And I think this is probably going to be the last jump of the night since it's 10 minutes to 10.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. Work tomorrow, don't you?
No, tomorrow's Sunday. But,
No, but tomorrow's Sunday, isn't it?
yeah. But,
Yeah,
still...
you don't have to work tomorrow.
Ooh, ship is a cool color in this light.
Lord, I look yellow.
That's cool.
Sure weird how that light changes color. They did some pretty good optics.
Yeah. And there's a lot of nice detail work on the graphical side of this game, but the plumbing needs leaves something to be desired. They need better plumbers.
The outhouse ain't working.
The plumbing into this sort of thing is actually one of the things I've spent my entire career being a specialist on. So I hate to see such a sloppy job. I know it can be better. I'd hate to get a look at their code base, though. Oh my God, it's got to be a mess.
Yeah. I like to have a meltdown when I was in college and had to learn Cobalt.
Never admit you know that language.
Oh,
Never admit you know that language.
I'll tell you, I learned it, but I forgot it just as soon as I learned it because I just wanted credit for that class.
No, that's one language I have never learned and will never learn. Because knowing that language with any degree of aptitude locks you into certain jobs that are absurdly boring.
Yeah, I could, yeah, it was definitely, it was about as bad as mining tritium the last day we mined, yes.
Yeah.
my teacher always said, if you get it down pat, you'll never forget it.
Yep. Well, that's what they say.
I seen her probably about 10 or 15 years later. She said, I bet you still remember Cobalt. And I said, not a damn thing. When they put that little asterisk out there that I had that class, I forgot everything you taught me.
Yeah. Very specialist language. Used for one thing and one thing in particular. And it's the most boring stuff to work on. Or so I'm told. I had it described to me before I decided whether or not to learn that language, and I decided that language would... The consequences of learning that language made it not worth learning the language. I very much like creating things, and you never get to create anything in COBOL. You're just maintaining old crap.
Well, I learned, what was it I learned? God. I learned how to program it and write code where it would do things for me.
Yep. But its only remaining use is in banking. In highly important systems that they're trying to never let go offline because you can't get the parts for the computers anymore, and nobody knows the software well enough to rewrite it in some other language. And even if it was rewritten in some other language, they wouldn't trust it.
Trying to think, there was 3 languages. Cobalt was one. I can't remember what the other 2. I'm sitting here trying to think.
Gotta love how some of the computer languages get their names. Like C. It's because it was the language in development that followed A and B. Then there's a robotics programming language called 5, because it follows 1, 2, 3, and 4, which all failed. I don't even know if 5 still exists. I haven't dealt with 5 since college.
mine is blank. Trying to think of the other two languages.
Well, you want me to start rattling off languages? I know quite a few of them.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. I think it was Fortran.
Fortran, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And then
Then there was
one was like the artist, the painter.
Pascal.
Yeah.
I learned Pascal in high school.
Well, we're talking about 1980s when I took this stuff.
I learned Fortran, a couple assemblies, CPM in college. High school, I learned a couple of different basics, Logo and Pascal. And since I've got out of college, I picked up some more. Why are you stuck? Oh, there you are. I picked up C, C++, Java, C#, more assembly languages, Go, and probably M, R, Python. Lots of languages. Although I think I've forgotten everything I learned in R. So I didn't have any use for it.
Shoot, when I was going to college, they still had the, what was it? Oh my God. What was that computer everybody hated?
The VAX VMS?
No, the other one. It's kind of a name brand.
The frame shift drive. Please move to a safe distance.
What was it, Apple? No.
Well, there was the Apple II, so that Apple gave to a lot of schools. Then there was the IBM XT and AT.
I think it was the Apple that the monitor weighed like 50 pounds.
Both Apple and PC monitors weighed about that weight in those days, yeah.
Yeah. And they had an old IBM in there too, which run totally different, totally opposite of what the Apple did.
Well, yeah, the IBM system was a mainframe, right?
I don't really remember. All I know is to program it was totally opposite than what you had to do on the Apple.
Yeah. Well, you could have been the XT or PC.
But you had to write one program and make it work without any bugs. Then take it, and then you had to take that program and flip it and make the other computer run the same program with the same efficiency in it.
Right. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the IBM PC or XT. Or at most the AT.
Oh, I can't remember. I tried, like I said, tried to forget it. As soon as I graduated, as soon as I made my B in it, it's like, ew, get out of here. $25,000?
Oh, hey.
Getting better.
Well, we'll have to go out there and take a look at it. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Fixed speed until a carrier is far behind you.
Frameshift drive charging.
Speed restriction.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
8. A couple of high metal contents in here. Well, one anyway. All right, why is this expensive? System map.
I don't see why. Not even any landables.
No. No idea. And no rings either. Bummer.
We still got, 20 more jumps or so? 18, 20?
I don't know. I'll look when we get back to the carrier.
Sure, we'll find some rings.
Disengage.
Exiting hyperspace.
We welcome your business at this carrier, Commander. Please enjoy your stay with us.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Access granted. Please follow standard docking protocols, Commander.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Wow. Did you lag?
Landing
Yep.
gear deployed.
Yeah, I seen you going down and all of a sudden you went up about 2 inches on my screen and then started back down again. I was like, wow.
Yep.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
All right, let's see how far we get to go. 8,058 to go. So that's 16 jumps.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yep. 4 days. And then we get to go.
Days we don't stop and mine somewhere.
Yep. Well,
Because 4 days will put us past Tuesday. Well, it'll be Tuesday when we get there, it looks like.
Yep.
No.
No, Sunday,
No,
Monday, Tuesday,
15th.
Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they improved the percentages and stuff, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to figure that before we go back. Just in case they nerf it again.
Well, you know, Tuesday to get to our original intended destination, and then we got to find an Earth-like.
Right.
So if they fix the percentages, it may be well worth jumping the ship to, you know, an ice ring in the area, filling it up, and then jumping to the Earth, whatever Earth-like we find.
Right. No, I'm just thinking you're going to leave down here. There's no telling what they'll do to it.
Yep. Well, if we don't have it filled up, I may put it, you know, for somewhere around galactic average, and just, you know, purchase tritium if anybody wants to dump it. If they don't, fine. I really don't think I'm going to move it again after it gets there, but we'll see. We shall see. At any rate, I'm out of time for tonight. Need to get to bed. So, we've got just over 8,000 kilometers to go. Kilometers, yeah. 8,000 light years to go. Boy, I wish it was that short. And we'll pick it up again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern as usual. Thank you very much for coming along, Lynn. And thank you to those who joined us in stream tonight. It's great having you along. That's all for now. This is Trice Majestus signing out.
Yeah. They're probably seeing what we're doing. Are we mining or are we jumping? You know. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel.